Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaurpemande Hari Hari Bo Jam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parvajak Acharya Ashtotar Shatashi Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shla Prabhupada Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Sarva Shastra Dipiyusha Sarva Vedaika Satvala Sarva Siddhantaratnadya Sarva Lokaika Drikprada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Srimad Bhagavata Prabho Kalidvanto Ditatitya Shri Krishna Parivartita Paramananda Pathaya Prema Varshak Sharayate Sarvada Sarva Sevyaya Shri Krishnaya Namostume Mad eka bandho mad sangin mad guru man mahadana manishtaraka mad bhagya madananda namostute asadhu sadhu dadayin ati nicho chatakara hanamuncha kadachin mam premna hritkantayospura Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 19, entitled The Killing of the Demon Hiranyaksha, text 28 and 29. We'll chant text 28 because it has purport, and 29 we'll just read. Yam yogino yoga-samādhinā raho. Yam yogino yoga-samādhinā raho. Dhyāyanti liṅgād asato mumukṣayā. Dhyāyanti liṅgād asato mumukṣayā. Tasyaiṣa daitya-ṛṣabhaḥ padāhato. Tasyaiṣa daitya-ṛṣabhaḥ padāhato. Mukham prapaśyaṁs tanum utsasarja. Mukham prapaśyaṁs tanum utsasarja. Yam yogino yoga-samādhinā raho. Dhyāyanti liṅgād asato mumukṣayā. Tasyaiṣa daitya-ṛṣabhaḥ padāhato. Mukham prapaśyaṁs tanum utsasarja. Yam yogino yoga-samādhinā raho. Dhyāyanti liṅgād asato mumukṣayā. Tasyaiṣa daitya-ṛṣabhaḥ padāhato. Mukham prapaśyaṁs tanum utsasarja. Yam yogino yoga-samādhinā raho. Dhyāyanti liṅgād asato mumukṣayā. Tasyaiṣa daitya-ṛṣabhaḥ padāhato. Mukham prapaśyaṁs tanum utsasarja. Yam yogino yoga-samādhinā raho. Dhyāyanti liṅgād asato mumukṣayā. Tasyaiṣa daitya-ṛṣabhaḥ padāhato. Mukham prapaśyaṁs tanum utsasarja. Ladies. Yam yogino yoga-samādhinā raho. Dhyāyanti liṅgād asato mumukṣayā. Tasyaiṣa daitya-ṛṣabhaḥ padāhato. Mukham prapaśyaṁs tanum utsasarja. Yam yogino yoga-samādhinā raho. Dhyāyanti liṅgād asato mumukṣayā. Tasyaiṣa daitya-ṛṣabhaḥ padāhato. Mukham prapaśyaṁs tanum utsasarja. Yam, whom, yoginaḥ, the yogis, yoga-samādhinā, in mystic trance, rahaḥ, in seclusion, dhyāyanti, meditate upon liṅgād from the body, asataḥ, unreal, mumukṣayā, seeking freedom, tasya, of him, eṣaḥ, this, daitya, son of Diti, ṛṣabhaḥ, the crest jewel, padā, by a foot, āhataḥ, struck, mukham, countenance, prapaśyaṁs, while gazing on, tanum, the body, utsasarja, he cast off, indeed. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Brahma continued, he was struck by a forefoot of the Lord, whom yogis, seeking freedom from their unreal material bodies, meditate upon in seclusion in mystic trance. While gazing on his countenance, this crest jewel of Diti's sons has cast off his mortal coil. Purport. The process of yoga is very clearly described in this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said here that the ultimate end of the yogis and mystics who perform meditation is to get rid of this material body. Therefore, they meditate in secluded places to attain yogic trance. Yoga has to be performed in a secluded place, not in public or in a demonstration on stage, as nowadays practiced by many so-called yogis. Real yoga aims at ridding one of the material body. Yoga practice is not intended to keep the body fit and young. Such advertisements of so-called yoga are not approved by any standard method. Particularly mentioned in this verse is the word yam, or unto whom, indicating that meditation should be targeted on the personality of Godhead. Even if one concentrates his mind on the boar form of the Lord, that is also yoga. As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, one who concentrates his mind constantly in meditation upon the personality of Godhead in one of his many varieties of forms is the first-class yogi, and he can very easily attain trance simply by meditating upon the form of the Lord. If one is able to continue such meditation on the Lord's form at the time of one's death, one is liberated from this mortal body and is transferred to the kingdom of God. This opportunity was given to the demon by the Lord, and therefore Brahma and other demigods were astonished. In other words, the perfection of yoga practice can be attained by a demon also if he is simply kicked by the Lord. And now text 29, to finish this section of killing of Hiranyaksha. I'll just read. Etauto parshado asya shapadyato asadgatim punakatipayais tanum prapaśyaate janmabihi. These two personal assistants of the Supreme Lord, having been cursed, have been destined to take birth in demoniac families. After a few such births, they will return to their own positions. Om Ajnanatimmirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhove Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for coming to the Bhagavatam class after 2 days of heavy festivalizing. The biggest festivals of the year are just behind us, and the most difficult is the 2 festivals are together. There's no break, so I was expecting nobody will come, maybe 1 or 2, but thank you for coming. Celebrating festivals is our duty as devotees, and it's our pleasure. Madhav Diti is Bhakti Janani, is the mother of devotion. So festivals like Janmashtami and Radhashtami and Ekadashi and so on, these are especially dedicated to the Lord. So we observe them very carefully, with great care. But actually, and now we're supposed to go back to the routine of daily life. But daily life in Krishna consciousness is also festival every day. Yeah? As Janmashtami Prabhu tells often, it's another day of ecstasy, right? So why it's another day of ecstasy? Because we'll do ecstatic activities, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, and practical activities in Krishna consciousness, and they're scheduled and regular. It seems if it's regular, it's not so good. It should be irregular or something, but no, that's even better. Because we don't have to think so much. Should I today be happy or not? No, also today I'll attend Mangalarati for the pleasure of the Lord, and then it's easy to be happy. And discussing Bhagavatam is also one of the happy activities in Krishna consciousness. Krishna appears in this material world for so many reasons. And one of the reasons is to leave behind pastimes so that the devotees can read about them, be attracted to the Lord, and dedicate their life to the Lord. That's said. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham astitaha bhajate tadrishi krida yakshritva tatparo bhavet. So these pastimes are in the Bhagavatam and elsewhere, but especially in the Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. It's one of the five basic teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is Bhagavatam is pure pure praman. We take inspiration and guidance from Bhagavatam. And Krishna never disappears. Although he disappeared, he never disappeared. One of the reasons is that he left behind the Bhagavatam. So, yeah. Kalo nashtadrisham eṣaḥ puranarko dhunoditaḥ. When Kali, the darkness of Kali started, and the ignorance and the bad qualities, but the sun-like Purana has arisen and illuminated the world. So, who will not hear about the Supreme Personality of Godhead in His Nam Gun Rup Lila? Is there anyone? The Bhagavatam asked this question many times. The sages of Naimisharanya, they asked themselves this question already. Kova Bhagavatas tasya punya shlokedya karmanaha shuddhi kamana shrinuyat yashakali malapaham. Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of quarrel, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? It's a rhetorical question. Is there anyone? It's like, cannot be anyone, right? It's just, the proposal is crazy. Who will not? Who doesn't want his own happiness? Is there anyone? No. So, in that sense, this question is put. And the sages for themselves are saying, no, vayam tu na vitripyana utama shloka vikrama. You're never satisfied, actually. They're never satisfied because they're never satiated. They want more and more. Yat srinvatam rasagyanam swadu swadu pade pade. Just go on, Sutta Goswami, please go on. We're here. Our ears are, open and ready for the nectar. So who is there? So just I'll mention two more instances of such questions in the Bhagavatam, very well known verses, at least one. Nivrittatarshe rupagiyamanad bhavaushadhat shrotra manobhiramat ya uttama shloka gunanuvadat puman virajyeta vinapashugnat. So, I'll read this easier. The glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is performed in the parampara system, that is, it is conveyed from spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is relished by those no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of these cosmic manifestations. So, descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Bhava Aushadha, it's a medicine for bhava, repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorification of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing his own self? So, that's the only possibility. Whether one is a butcher, he will not want to hear, and one who is killing his own self. That's also not a good idea to kill one's own self. And in the third canto, I just stumbled upon a similar verse and was reminded that this is just everywhere, because the one who is the speakers and the hearers of the Bhagavatam, there's so much in ecstasy while doing that they mention this again and again, thinking of us who may not be so much willing, and not always. So this is from 13th chapter of the third canto. Konamaloke purushartha saravit Purakatanam Bhagavat Katha Sudam Apiya Karnanjali Bhir Bhavapaham Aho Virajeta Vinanaretaram. Who, other than one who is not a human being, can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life? Who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the personality of Godhead's activities, which by itself can deliver one from all material pangs? So, if one is not a human being, then he is not interested. That's a possibility. Otherwise, not a possibility. Again, not a good idea to look like a human and not be considered a human being. So this is the conclusion here. So, so Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So that's the conclusion we should hear regularly, or the nectar of instruction. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitaptya Vidya Pito Pataptara Sanasya Narochikano. So it may happen that we may not have the taste for hearing the pastimes, for chanting, for the glories of Krishna, but because we are affected by ignorance, Kintu Kintuadaratanudidam khalu saiva jushta swadvikramad bhavati tadgala mulahantri. So, but if we carefully, with great attention, every day, still chant and hear about the Lord, then slowly, gradually, that disease of ignorance will be finished at the root. That's very good, a very good prospect, and we may not feel the complete destroyal of the ignorance, but something must be there that keep us going in this path. So go on and on, because there's something to be gained. There's this nectar, more nectar to be gained today. So the verse today, which we are discussing, says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the object of meditation for the yogis. That's dhyana vastita tadgatena manaso pashyantiyam yogino. So the yogis are in their meditation, in their minds, they see the Lord. They see the Lord. These are perfected yogis. It's not any yogi, just closing the eyes, and as Prabhupada would say, they start to snore. But real yogis, and as we hear from Prabhupada, what is today popular as yoga is just it's false representation of yoga. Actually, just a small part of yoga, but not the goal. And most of the times, this is not presented as such. But that's it. You know. Now I'm spiritual. I do some yoga. Well, now you may be healthy. That's all. Not spiritual just by doing asanas. But of course, it helps. It helps. That's why it's the part of yoga, because it helps to meditate upon the Lord. But it's not the recommended type of yoga for this age, for sure. So the Brahma and other demigods who were observing this fight between Hiranyaksha and Varahadeva, they were astonished because they saw how the Lord is giving the opportunity to Hiranyaksha, who was just a demon, to meditate upon him, and he even killed him with a strike of his foot. The feet of the Lord are the goal of the devotees of the Lord, of devotees, yogis, and he just gave it like that. Although Hiranyaksha came with evil intentions to kill Varahadev, so Varahadev was giving the chance, but to meditate upon the Lord, but properly as a devotee. But if we are just given the opportunity, that doesn't mean that we will use it. So to get the full benefit of seeing the Lord, one must understand his supreme position. Otherwise it doesn't work. It said, Samanya darshana loka muktir yogyatma darshanat. By seeing the Supreme Lord with ordinary vision, one attains higher planets. But by seeing him in the proper way, one attains liberation. So I'm taking this from Laghu Bhagavatamrita. There's a discussion which is relevant to what we are discussing now here at this point. When in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita is discussed, or it is defined, that the highest, topmost category of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is avatars. They are paravastha. They call it paravastha. They are Krishna, Ramachandra, and Sri Nrsimhadev. So, because they are in one category, one may say, are they all the same? Can they all do the same? Well, they do not do the same. That's the point. Sri Krishna, Bhagavan, Adi Purusha, he does more than Ramachandra and Nrsimhadev can do. Especially, it was discussed, of course, now we'll discuss, refer to Laghu Bhagavatamrita. It doesn't discuss Hiranyaksha, killing of Hiranyaksha, but it discusses the killing of Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, and Shishupal. But that's Jai. But Vijay is Hiranyaksha, Kumbhakarna, and Dantavakra. Not exactly the same, almost the same. Just in their first incarnation as demons, Hiranyakashipu was killed by Nrsimhadev, Paravastha, and Hiranyaksha was killed by Varahadev. So, but in the other two avatars, they were killed by the same person, the same personality of Godhead, by Ramachandra and by Lord Krishna. So, more or less, almost fitting. So it's discussed like this. That's in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita starts with, with this particular discussion starts with in 1.5, 41, 42. So, and now it's Vishnu Purana is referenced here. In part 4 of the Vishnu Purana, Maitreya asked this question: after Vishnu killed Hiranyakashipu and later Ravan, the jiva who had taken birth as those demons achieved facilities for material enjoyment even the demigods cannot attain. Why, in those circumstances, did he not achieve the liberation of merging into the eternal Lord Hari, as he did after he took birth as Shishupal, who was killed by the Lord? So this is a very good question. He was killed by the Lord in all the cases, but there's a difference. Shishupal got liberated, although here, just speaking about liberation, we may think of impersonal liberation, but actually it was personal liberation. That's discussed also. But the point is, they were liberated. This jiva who had taken birth as those demons, he was liberated after being killed by Krishna as Shishupal. And now the reasons are given why this is did not happen when Hiranyakashipu was killed by Nrsingadeva. He was thinking that this powerful being, means Nrsingadeva, had accumulated heaps of extremely pious credits. So I guess most of you have seen the movie, very popular, Hiranyakashipu, Maha-avatar. So it's very easy to picture. The Hiranyakashipu. So Hiranyakashipu focused his attention on him under the strong impulsion of the mode of passion. That is the effect of the mode of passion is that we cannot think clearly. So, we are great, so this being, okay, some good piety must have in the past, so therefore he's so strong, but, not enough for me. So therefore he was being killed by the Lord, but the benefit was just material facilities in the next life. So it said that because of Hiranyakashipu's bewilderment, his mind did not actually take shelter of and unite with the personality of Godhead. So to take shelter of the Lord, one must be either convinced that the Lord is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme, or he must be extremely hateful of him. So Hiranyakashipu was not hateful enough of Nrsingadeva. Somewhere there was not enough, the intensity was not enough. So we must take shelter of the Lord favorably, where there's not much opportunity. There's not much chance for us that we'll be really so hateful of the Lord that He will deliver us anyhow. So the result is the same, but this is a very unlikely chance that as demons we will be taking shelter of the Lord. And so as Ravan, so he was just possessed, obsessed with Janaki. That was with the concert of the Lord. And this Ramchandra is an ordinary human being. And therefore he didn't, at the end he didn't get the full benefit of dying at the hand of Ramchandra. And again he was born very in an opulent position as Shishupal. He was a king or a prince in the kingdom of Chedi, and he had big power. And as Shishupal, he found cause to chant all the Supreme Lord's names. So with his mind absorbed incessantly in the Lord, after several lifetimes of hatred, he uttered all of his names. Why? To criticize, to scold, and otherwise abuse him. Whether Shishupal was walking, eating, bathing, sitting, sleeping, or doing anything else, his deep-seated envy caused his heart and mind to be inescapably absorbed in the image of the Lord's form. So he was chanting the names of the Lord and seeing the Lord all the time. He was so intense. So the conclusion is given here that the Lord's enchantment potency, and that's Krishna's enchantment potency, that is unique. No other avatar of the Lord has this enchantment potency. It becomes manifest primarily in two ways. Through the charm of his names. Names, right? The names of the Lord. And the beauty of his transcendental body. It's very significant. I mean, and we also can reflect upon our routine, daily routine sadhana. We're chanting the holy names of the Lord and congregate in the temple to see the beautiful forms of the Lord. And at this point we can just be thankful to everyone who is engaged in the Diti worship in Sridham Mayapur, the pujaris and everyone else who is helping. There's so many devotees from the community, and they are giving us this opportunity to appreciate the beauty of the Lord. It's so significant. So when Shishupal called out Krishna's names in anger and fixed his attention upon him from the halo of rays emanating from the disk of the Lord, because the Lord sent his Sudarshana disk to kill Shishupal. So then Shishupal could finally see the personality of Godhead and the infallible brilliance of his personal form. And he saw that this brilliance, that he was the supreme absolute truth. This sight rid Shishupal of the contamination of his enmity toward the Lord. So now he was not hateful of the Lord anymore. He was just liberated from his enmity. And all his accumulated sins were burned away by his remembering the Lord. The Lord finished Shishupal's material existence and Shishupal merged into the Lord. So, Kali Kalinam Rupe Krishna Avatarnam Hoite Hoy Sarva Jagat Nishtar. So everyone in this material world can be liberated by chanting of the holy names of the Lord, who are none different from the Lord. Yeah. So, and this discussion is finished by the, again, rhetorical question. So this is what happens to the demons, or to the most extreme demon. Then what to speak of Lord Krishna's reciprocation with those who have true devotion to him. Krishna is so kind. So, but it's also said that just as a kind of a curiosity at the end of this passage, that Jai and Vijay, they do not fall every kalpa. It's just, this is very rare occasion. In other kalpas, some other jivas, they take the position of Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, and other demons. This was extremely rare. It was the desire of the Lord, and even before that, it was desire of Jai and Vijay themselves. It's said that when Jai and Vijay had heard bards, sutas, in Lord Narayana's courts, singing about their master's prowess in fighting with demons, they wanted to see how he enjoyed this, how he enjoyed this combat. And the Lord responded to the desire of his devotees. So he just made all this arrangement of the four Kumaras coming to the gates of Vaikuntha, and they were bewildered and were not behaving properly. And it was all, at first the Adi desire was the desire of Jai and Vijay. Oh, we want to see this. How the Lord is, how he's fighting with demons. That's very interesting. We want to see this. So, and it said, don't this glorification contradict the declaration that no one returns from Vaikuntha? Once you come to Vaikuntha, you don't return. Yes. Certainly no one ever returns from Vaikuntha impelled by karma, because our position there is eternal. There's no karma bearing us from being there. But someone can return if he wants to. That's possible. We have the minute independence, which is the cause of our position. We may serve the Lord, we may not serve the Lord. Yatecha sita takuru. That's Krishna. Krishna is immensely merciful. He is giving us himself in so many ways, but the decision is ours. He's not forcing us. That's the beauty of the Lord, the beauty of devotional service. It's all voluntary. Nothing is forced, and therefore the devotees are so glorious. Yes. So amazing. There's no reward. That means there's nothing, nothing is, so to say, fixed, but we know Krishna will be happy, and so everything will be provided. So but devotee doesn't even care about that. That's beyond. But that happens anyhow, because Krishna is really kind. He's a kind master. He will take care of his devotees. So, okay. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Yes, bro.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we hear in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that this process of devotional service, this cannot be stopped by anything material.
Yes. Right.
But then again, we talk about that how these lower modes like passion and ignorance, they hamper.
They can hamper. Yeah.
So, and also in third canto, Kapil Muni explains about devotional service in 3 modes, if you remember, Prabhuji. I was trying to find it.
Yeah.
So how do we understand, means how to practice?
Well, first you refer to savai pumsam parodharma. Savai pumsam parodharma yato bhaktira dokshaje ahaituke pratihata yayatma suprasidati. So here's describing what's dharma. Dharma is that which helps us that towards bhakti, toward the Supreme Lord. What kind of bhakti? Ahaituke pratihata. So that's real devotional service, unstopped and unmotivated, uncaused, right? I just spoke about that. Devotee doesn't think of any reward. It's ahaituki, causeless. Does his service, so that's ideal. That's ideal. We are aiming towards that. But it's not enough to put tilak on it and now I am a devotee, ahaituke pratihata yayatma suprasidati. Therefore, that's discussed. Devotional service can be, that's not pure devotion, it's mixed devotional service, not yet pure. And therefore also there's discussion in it. For instance, Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu is describing pure devotional service, but also there are gradations. It's sadhana bhakti, vaidhi, and raganuga, sadhana bhakti, and then bhava bhakti and prema bhakti. And prema bhakti is the topmost. But we know all that. So sadhana bhakti doesn't mean we are pure in intention. Our intention is pure, but our minds may not be pure yet. So we just have to go on, that's all. Simple example, Prabhupada speaking about unripe mango and ripe mango. Unripe mango is mango. Devotee is a devotee, although it's not pure devotee. It's almost there. So therefore, sometimes they may be even considered as a pure devotee. But just, we have to go on, that's all. Go on. Go on with this. It will surely it will be successful.
Thank you for your nice answer and nice class. So in the sloka mentioned padāhato. The Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur again and again mentioned that Hiranyaksha killed by Lord's padāhato. Padāhato iti baraharsha padāra ebo. But Prabhupada sometimes means Hiranyaksha killed by slap, Lord slap. So it is simple questions by incident, which is correct? Padāhato or slap?
So the question is how
he killed? By slapping or by kicking?
Well, slapped. Where does it have, says it?
Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur again and again mentioned.
Yeah.
He killed by padāhato.
Right. Yes.
So which is correct? By slapping or kicking?
Well,
which is correct?
was it 25th? Slapped him. Mushtibir. Well, I would say like this. See, this verse 25 describes fighting, because it was more interaction than just one blow of the Lord with his foot. So it says tam mushtibhir, with his fists. Okay. It's also said it's karena, with the hand. So both must be there. Those were there's a saying, more than two strikes, more than one strike. One was at least one with the hand, and the other one, maybe the deadly one, was with the foot. So that's could be one interpretation. I could go more deeply into it.
Maybe it's because boars, their feet and hands are the same thing.
Also.
That's probably.
And also, sometimes Varahadev has a form which is standing on like human-like legs and human-like hands. Varahadev is very beautiful. So sometimes, because the Varahadev many times appears, sometimes a little different.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for this wonderful class. I'm a little bit bewildered with all this. During this period of time, while we read this pastime of the Lord, we discussed Vira Rasa and the way Jai and Vinjai, they come here as demons to satisfy the Lord in this lila. But I'm a little bit bewildered with this description because we discussed one day that they just expand themselves. For example, they always stay in Vaikuntha and never leave it again. So could you explain it a little bit more, the process, how it goes?
The process of?
I mean, just today you told us that 3 times they come in the form of demons and fight the Lord, and then they go back to Vaikuntha. So how can we put all these things together?
The fact that, that they stay and they expand.
Yes, then they are killed by the Lord, they return back, and
that, I think, what more can be said, but the jiva has this capacity, it can expand. Not exactly like the Lord, unlimitedly, but this is possible. That's all I can say. Now, how is it possible? It's by the amazing potency which was given by the Lord.
But they come back by their own desire, or just as karmi do, like they are not pure enough and they get birth again?
No, they were purified. You could see that they were completely pure. At the end of their term of 3 lives. Shishupal was completely pure, and he went back to Godhead, and Dantavakra also, Vijay. So that's described. It's in the Bhagavatam, I think it's chapter 78 of the 10th canto, how Dantavakra was killed by the Lord. So the commentators also say that Dantavakra attained personal liberation.
And what about Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu? They were not purified.
No.
And they got back again because of that.
Yeah.
So there was
so many things together. They had to live 3 lives in the material world. And also this process of purification is going on also. And one lesson we took, or the acharyas have taken, or from the Vishnu Purana directly, this discussion that only Krishna has this potency that by which, enchanting potency, by which the demons can be completely attracted to him and become even his devotees. But that happens in a split of a second, or very shortly. When they're about to be killed, that happens. When it happens, it doesn't have to be long. You just have to become a devotee. That's it, and then, that's the deliverance. This is a little special. We are not discussing ordinary things. This is, yes.
So my understanding was that Jaya and Vijaya are pure devotees already, and they came down from Vaikuntha to this material world on the desire of Lord Vishnu.
Yes.
So was it stated somewhere that they're not purified or anything like that?
But it's all lila. Of course, the Jaya and Vijaya, they're eternally pure as the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. But what is your point? In this lila, they are demons, and demons are not pure, right? So they have to get purified. But it's a pastime.
We can see it that way.
They're not intrinsically impure. They're not intrinsically demons. They play that role, and playing the role, they are as good as if they were impure, demons. In that play, they are demons, so they have to get purified in this pastime. Otherwise, they're pure. Or you have some other understanding? Okay. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.